Hi guys, today I'm going to show you one of the grade 2 exercises, and this is exercise 2A from the AMEB technical workbook. If you don't have an AMEB technical workbook, you can find a link in the description below. I'm going to be using this little violin today, and why I'm using that is because it's got the marks here. So that means I'm going to be able to show you how I'm moving the fingers, because we're going to be sliding. This is an introduction to chromatic scales. Let's get started. So before we break it down, let's listen to the whole of exercise 2A. Here it is. Show you is how we're going to be moving the first finger. So we're going to be playing on the A string, and there's two positions for your first finger. There is the low first, which is B flat, and the normal first, which is B natural. And I've got a mark there for the first finger, so you're going to be able to see the first finger going from right back there up to the mark. We see that we have the mouse hole, and I talk about that very regularly. So we want to make sure that the left hand is loose and relaxed, no tension, not pushing it out, and not letting the other fingers go under the neck of your violin. So before we do the first part, we're just going to put the low first on, and we're going to slide it to the high first position. Back, forward, back, and forward. And what you'll notice, this is not a jump back finger exercise. So in one of my other videos, we did jump back fingering. And this is where we lifted the finger and put it back with purpose. For this one, we are sliding. Notice that my left hand and wrist do not move while I am doing this. Neither does my thumb, and I certainly am not going to change the position of my hand. So back and forward. So this gives us the first part of the exercise. Let's try. We're going to play A. Low first, high first, and then low second right on top. Let's do it again. Now I'm going to play it with the slurs. So we're going to slur in twos. So that covers the first finger slides from B flat to B natural. The next slide is the second finger, and we're going to be going from a low second to a high second. And on this violin, the mark here is for the third finger. So my second finger is going to go from right on top of the one up to just before the mark. So this is C natural and this is C sharp. Notice that my fourth and third finger are above the neck of my violin. They are not going underneath. My hand and wrist position are also loose and relaxed, and there's no bending or movement as I change the pitch from C natural to C sharp. Let's do that. Up and down, and get used to that feeling. It should feel quite easy to slide your finger up and down there. The second finger is probably the easiest for most people. Let's play this part of the exercise. So from the low second, high second, and 3. Let's do it again. Actually, we'll start on the first. Low second, high second, 3 right on top. One more time. So now let's try that slowed in twos. sliding the third finger. So from D natural, which is on the mark right on top of the second, sliding up to D sharp. So that goes right underneath my fourth finger mark. So that's where the fourth finger would go on that mark. The third is going from right on top of the 2 to right under the 4. So we're going to have C sharp, second finger, D natural, third, slide, fourth on top. One more time. Let's do it in slurs. So that's the whole first part. So that's going up. I'm going to play all of that so you can hear the entire sequence. Make sure you take note of my left hand, wrist and thumb position there. Everything is loose and relaxed and my fingers do not go underneath the neck of my violin. Here it is, slowed in twos. So that's the whole part ascending. Now we're going to be going down, and some people would say this is a little bit harder. So the first thing you need to do is we're going to be doing the sliding 3, but it's going to slide down. So it's going to be the fourth finger, which sounds E, high 3, low 3, 2. Now here we need to put the 4 and 3 back together. So take time to make sure that you don't have this, like too much space. So you might like to do the 3 first and then squash the 4 on top. And in fact, I'd recommend you do that, especially in the beginning. Really squash together. 4, 3, 2. So that's going to be slowed in twos as well. Let's do it one more time. Now comes the sliding 2, and this one, as we said, is probably the easiest of the 3 sliding fingers. So 3, high 2, low 2, 1. One more time. Let's slow it in twos. And lucky last, the first finger slides from the high first to the low first. Now, just as you're going, make sure you take a moment here and there to be sure that you've got the mouse hole. So you can see my bow through my fingers there, through the thumb and first finger hole there. And we need to maintain that. We do not want to tighten up. You're going to get a sore hand and wrist, and also you're not going to be making for good technique. Let's go C natural on low second, B natural on first finger, B flat on low first and open A. 1, low first, A. So it's slurred. And we finish with an A. So now I'm going to play the whole of exercise 2A. So all the way up and all the way down. Keep note of how my hand shape remains nice and loose and relaxed the whole time, and look at how my fingers slide with purpose. Here we go. So that's exercise 2A from the grade 2 syllabus. If you practice it in parts and you really pay attention to your left hand and wrist position, you should find it pretty easy within a couple of weeks. I hope you've enjoyed this video and found it useful. See you next time.